Welcome to AryaTV.ca-Academy. This channel was created with one clear mission: to encourage the sharing of knowledge through meaningful networking, so individuals and communities can grow together toward prosperity and financial freedom. At AryaTV.ca-Academy, we believe that every person has experience, insight, and skills that can create value for others. When knowledge is shared, opportunities are created. When people connect, prosperity multiplies. Our direction is simple but powerful: bring people together, elevate knowledge, and turn learning into real-world impact. Throughout 2026, AryaTV.ca-Academy will offer a wide range of financial education programs, including virtual courses you can access from anywhere, and in-person sessions designed for deeper connection, discussion, and growth. These programs are built to help you understand money better, develop practical financial skills, and create sustainable income and long-term freedom. Whether you are just starting your journey or looking to elevate your expertise, this academy is a place to learn, share, and grow together. We welcome entrepreneurs, professionals, students, and lifelong learners who believe in the power of knowledge, collaboration, and service. Join us. Participate. Share what you know. Learn what you need. This is AryaTV.ca-Academy, where networking meets knowledge, and knowledge creates prosperity. Welcome to the community.
You know, planning for retirement can sometimes feel like you're trying to solve this incredibly complex puzzle with 1,000 tiny pieces. But what if we thought about it differently? What if it's not a puzzle, but a blueprint? Something we can actually build piece by piece on a really solid foundation. So let's dive into that blueprint for your financial future.
First off, if you're worried about this stuff, you are definitely not alone. A survey from RBC Wealth Management found that a whopping 80% of people are concerned about how they're going to fund their healthcare costs in retirement. It's a huge, universal worry, but it's one we can absolutely plan for.
And to tackle it, we're going to walk through this 4-pillar framework. Think of it as our roadmap. We'll start by building a solid foundation, then we'll work on establishing your income streams, figure out how to plan for healthcare, and finally, talk about defining your legacy. This is how we get to financial clarity. Okay, let's start with Pillar 1, your financial foundation. I mean, before you can even think about building a skyscraper for your future, you've got to make sure the ground you're standing on today is stable, right? This part is all about taking control and just building some breathing room. So here are the first really practical steps inspired by the Choose FI Foundation. The whole point here is to stop digging the hole any deeper. That first $1,000 crisis fund, that's your buffer when life happens. From there, you just stop adding new debt. Then you attack those high-interest payments that are eating you alive. After that, you expand that little fund into a full-blown emergency fund. And listen, securing an employer 401k match, that is literally free money. You have to take it. Then you automate your savings so the whole thing just runs on autopilot. This is how you create stability. All right, on to Pillar 2, income streams. Now that we've got a stable foundation, we can start designing the cash flow that's actually going to pay for your life when you're done working. So here's the crucial shift in thinking. It's all about moving from active income to passive income. Active income is what you're doing now. It's your job. It needs your constant time and effort. But passive income, that's the retirement dream. You set something up once, and it keeps generating money with very little work from you. That is the engine of financial freedom.
And there are a few classic ways to do this. You've got real estate, which gives you a physical asset and hopefully some steady rental income. The stock market offers a shot at high growth and dividends, but yeah, it can be a bit of a roller coaster. And then there are bonds, which are usually safer and provide more predictable fixed payments. The real secret sauce here isn't just picking one, but mixing and matching, diversifying, so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Now, these private strategies are fantastic, but for millions of Americans, they're all built on top of the bedrock of retirement income, Social Security. You really have to see it as a foundational piece of this whole puzzle.
And to get a handle on your own Social Security, you've got to know this one term, the primary insurance amount, or PIA. It's basically the benefit you get if you start taking it at your full retirement age. But here's a key takeaway. When you decide to claim makes a massive difference. For a lot of people, waiting until age 70 instead of grabbing it at 62 can mean a benefit that's over 75% larger. That's a total game changer.
Okay, time for Pillar 3. Let's talk about the big one, the thing that's often the single biggest financial unknown in retirement: healthcare costs. Let's make this really real for a second.
According to data cited by RBC, the projected lifetime healthcare cost for a 65-year-old couple retiring today is over $683,000. Just seeing that number in black and white makes it crystal clear why we need a dedicated plan for this.
And hold on, that's not all. If we dig a little deeper, the median cost for just 1 year in a private room in a nursing home is over $108,000. Long-term care is a potential expense so massive, it has to be part of the conversation.
It's also so important to get this. Healthcare costs are not a flat line. They escalate as we get older. A healthy couple might spend around $13,000 a year in their late 60s, but that can easily triple to $40,000 a year once they're past 85. Our plan has to account for this rising tide.
So what about Medicare? You might think, oh, I'm covered. Well, not quite. Medicare is not a silver bullet. It covers less than 2/3 of the typical health expenses in retirement. That leaves this 35% gap that you are on the hook for, either through out-of-pocket spending or some kind of supplemental insurance. That gap right there, that's what we need to plan for.
And that brings us to our final pillar, Pillar 4. We've built a solid plan for our own financial security. So now it's about making sure our assets are protected and are handled exactly the way we want for the people we care about the most.
It's a very direct question, I know, but it's such an important one. And answering it thoughtfully is the whole reason estate planning exists.
So what is it, really? When you boil it all down, estate planning is simply the process of deciding how your stuff will be managed and handed out, both if you become unable to make decisions yourself and after you pass away. It's really just about you staying in control.
And there are 3 main tools in the toolkit here. A will is the most basic document. It just says who gets what. It's a must-have for anyone with assets or kids. A trust gives you way more control, letting you say how and when assets are given out. It's great for more complex situations and can often keep your family out of the court system. And advanced directives. These are so important. They spell out your wishes for medical care, protecting you and your choices if you can't speak for yourself.
Now, a lot of these tools are designed to avoid or at least simplify something called probate. That's the formal public court process for settling an estate. It can be long, it can be expensive, and it can be stressful, which is exactly why a good estate plan tries to make that whole process as smooth and painless as possible for your loved one. So, there you have it. The 4 pillars: a stable foundation, diverse income streams, a solid plan for healthcare, and a defined legacy. But here's the thing, this isn't the end of the road. Financial planning isn't some destination you arrive at, it's an ongoing journey.
There's this motto from an organization called Senior Planet that just captures the perfect mindset for all this: aging with attitude. I love that. It's not about passively letting things happen to you, it's about actively and confidently shaping the life you want. The world is going to change, your life is going to change, and your plan will have to adapt right along with it. Staying engaged, staying informed about your finances, that's all part of living a full and empowered life at every single stage.
And that really brings us to today. These pillars, they give you the blueprint, the structure you need to build your future. But at the end of the day, you're the architect. Your financial story is still being written. So the only question left is, what will the next chapter be?
As we wrap up, remember this: knowledge grows when it's shared. If today's message brought you value, take a moment to reflect on what you can share, what you can improve, and who you can help. This is exactly what AryaTV.ca-Academy is about. Thank you for being here. Thank you for learning with us.